asked Austin. The surly, one-eyed wolf shifter had a graying beard that brushed the top of the bar, and a perpetual scowl stamped on his face. Austin shoved his glass at him. "I'm sitting here, and my glass is empty. You have to ask?" Barry gave him a sour look, but he stuck Austin's glass under a tap and refilled it. He set it down just as Savannah stormed up to him and slapped her hands down on the scarred wooden bar. "You've got some nerve," she snapped. Austin took a long sip of his beer, then set it down on the bar and swiveled to look at her. His lips quirked in amusement, and his dark mood receded. He'd been hoping Savannah would show up and find him here. It was one of the reasons he'd deliberately parked his truck outside the watering hole. He knew that she had lookouts everywhere, even if this town was more wolf than fox. She and her family had lived in the area for generations. They knew just about everybody. It was a pretty good bet that someone would call and tell her that he was here. He lived to annoy her. It was so fun and so easy. "A lot of nerve," he agreed with her. "In fact, one might say that I was born with extra nerve. Actually, I'm exceptionally gifted in a lot of areas. Want a drink? We could talk about it some more." Savannah glared. "No, and now I want to barf." Austin's lips curled in a smile. Cute little fox. She shouldn't lie to a wolf. What big ears you have. With his enhanced shifter hearing, he could pick up the increase of her breathing rate and the thudding of her heart. What a big nose you have. With his exquisite sense of smell, he could scent the spicy aroma of her arousal. To say nothing of the delightful visual evidence of her nipples swelling against her blue scoop-necked shirt. Savannah always dressed like a tomboy, in t-shirts and jeans that failed to hide her generous curves, and he loved it. She called to his animal like no other woman ever had, which was exactly why he wouldn't saddle her with his crazy-ass wolf problems. But he might as well enjoy whatever time he had left. He couldn't pursue her the way he wanted to, but he could at least flirt with her and drive her insane. He called out to the bartender, "Barry, my friend here wants a mojito, made with white rum, of course, and don't skimp on the mint leaves." He glanced at her and saw her eyes widen in surprise and her nostrils flare. Barry stared at him while slowly wiping the bar with a filthy rag. Austin couldn't recall ever seeing Barry crack a smile. "This ain't the Gilded Lily. We got beer and we got rot gut. We don't have a whatever the hell you just said." Austin grinned fiercely. He knew that. He'd been staying in this remote shifter town in southeast Washington state for the past 3 months, and this was his bar of choice. The Gilded Lily was the fancy upscale bar at the other end of town, where the wealthier shifters went. He never set paw in there. They reminded him of his family, of his original pack. He'd just ordered the mojito to let Savannah know that he knew exactly what she liked to drink, to get under her skin. Savannah stared at him, arms crossed over her chest. "The mark that you have out there in the car? He was mine, you asshole. I did all the work. I spent weeks tailing his dirtbag friends, squatting in the woods, getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, not to mention a major case of poison ivy rash on my butt, and you followed me and snatched him away right before I got to his hideout." At the mention of her butt, he perked up. He loved her butt. It was so big and round and squeezable. So he imagined. "This is all true. Can I check out that rash? It sounds like something you really should get looked at." There was murder in her light brown eyes. "I shifted into fox form and it healed, you ass. And by the way, why are you in here drinking when you've got a man..."